Is it showtime? It's showtime, baby. Let's get it.
Is it showtime?
It's showtime, baby. Let's get it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show with your host, Dr. Kojo, and we are back after a 2 week hiatus. It's been a 2 week hiatus. It feels like it's been longer. You take a small break, and it's like, where did I ever go? But we're here and we're streaming. We got a new setup today, so nice little new setup. Got some extra light in here. I feel good. We have a great topic tonight. We're talking about 5 signs that you might not be autistic. And this is inspired by a recent reaction video that I made last night, which will be posted tomorrow. And I figured that it'd be an excellent topic. So we're going to get into it. Go ahead and use the comment section to let me know what your name is if it doesn't already show and where you're streaming from. So we're live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, 6 platforms. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And then I'll get into a couple of announcements and talk about a couple of things that are on my mind. These Mentos are extra crunchy today. Donna's checking in from Williamstown, Kentucky. Don just joined on TikTok. Donna, happy to have you. Somebody asks if I have colleagues in. I don't. No colleagues in Paris. That's funny though. But we have Kentucky in the house. Let me see who else we have here. Massachusetts, New Brunswick, Canada in the house. Ireland in the house. We have an international audience, by the way. So we have folks checking in from all over the place. Florida. Okay. All right. Hockey. So another person from Canada. Texas, Idaho, Vermont. Mandy is checking in from Arkansas. Angie, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because some of y'all are not autistic and you think you are. So we're going to get to the bottom of that tonight. Angie from Texas. Okay. Texas is well represented here tonight. Florida. Texas. So this is just me in the state of Texas. Are they showing this live stream on the highway in Texas? Everybody can see it out there. Virginia, Massachusetts, Illinois, Georgia. Okay. That's coming in from TikTok. New Jersey. Those 2 Mentos, this was not a good idea to eat the Mentos before a live stream because now it's getting stuck in my teeth. It's impacting my speech. Heck no. Wasn't the best idea, but we live and then we learn. Sanborn, New York, Ocala, I think it's Ocala, Florida. San Diego, autism mom here. Denise, you're in the right place. I appreciate you. Heidi checking in from Sydney, Australia. Heidi, how are you? We're happy to have you here. Someone says, but minty fresh. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Definitely minty fresh. Catherine says, we're crazy up here in Texas. That's where I need to be. Someone said, I can fix that, Dr. Kojo. How you going to fix that? How you going to fix that? How you going to fix that? And Angie says, don't drink Coke with your Mentos. What happens if you drink Coke with your Mentos? I don't think good things happen, but I'm not sure exactly what happens. But I know it's not a good idea to mix the Coke with the Mentos. I'll tell you, but you have to be open-minded. Let me know what I'm signing up for first. I need to know what I'm signing up for first. Emmanuel's checking from Boston, Massachusetts. Emmanuel, happy to have you here. Explode? All right, now, we don't need nothing exploding in my mouth. Pause. Pause. Anyways, speaking of Boston, Massachusetts, that is where I am going to be on July the 24th. These Mentos in my speech. What's going on? July the 24th, I will be in Boston, Massachusetts, at the Lil Chuck Comedy Club. So the comedy tour is underway. We just wrapped up in New York City, June 11th, and then Chicago, Illinois, June 18th. Both of those shows were outstanding. Nashville wasn't too long ago. Nashville was May 31st. So in the span of 3 weeks, we've had 4 comedy shows in 3 cities. So we've been traveling all over, and we are kind of tired, but we get a little 6 week break before we go back out on the road. So July the 24th, we will be at the Lil Chuck Comedy Club in Boston, Massachusetts. The next day will be in Springfield, Massachusetts. So we have 2 Massachusetts comedy shows. So for my neurodivergence in the greater Boston area, I'm talking to y'all. For my neurodivergence in the greater Hartford area, I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to y'all. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. So 2 comedy shows in about a month from now is going to be outstanding, and I cannot wait for it. Boston is the best with the Tartan. I don't know who Tartan Army is, but Boston is a great place to be. Boston's a great place to be. Speaking of the West Coast, we have a show in San Diego, December the 3rd, but we'll have our regular LA show before that. So definitely. And listen to Callie. Callie says, hey, Callie, how are you? The Chicago show is amazing. Callie, I appreciate you. Chicago was amazing. Chicago is my favorite comedy town. So I was looking forward to Chicago months in advance, and the crowd did not let me down. We had a sold out crowd in Chicago, and it was the best. A lot of autism and a lot of ADHD in Chicago. I mean, a lot. Maybe half of Chicago is neurodivergent, and that's probably why I like it so much. So shout out to my neurodivergence in Chicago. Shout out to my neurodivergence in New York City. Shout out to my neurospicy people in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to my neurodivergence in Houston, Texas. So 4 cities down, a lot more to go. And speaking of shows, we just added a show today in Detroit, Michigan. In Detroit, Michigan, and that's September 11th. So Friday, September 11th, we will be in Detroit, Michigan as well. And I let my team know that. Or did I let them know? Hey, John, we have a show in Detroit, September 11th. I don't think I've sent you the link, so I'm going to do that right now, so we can get that on the link tree or the whatever it's called. But I think that the link was already sent to you. But if you don't have Detroit, please let me know. Leilani is our moderator. I'm happy to be back. Man, I'm happy to be back. A lot of traveling. Chicago was amazing. Chicago, I cannot wait to go back to Chicago. And guys, we're going to talk about the 5 signs that you might not be autistic, because that's what the live stream is about. So I have 5 signs that you may not be autistic. But before I get into that, one more final shout out to the great people of Chicago. A lot of neurodivergent love in that town. And like I said, I cannot wait to go back. The food was amazing. I can't wait to go back to Chicago. I need more reasons to go back to Chicago. I cannot wait. We're looking to add some shows in Florida, Kristen. We're looking to add shows in Florida. So just letting y'all know. And Katrina on TikTok says, I am late diagnosed ADHD and mom of an autistic son. Katrina, you're in the right place. Mackenzie says, every day social media convinces me more and more that I am autistic. Well, looks like Mackenzie is one of those people who thinks that they're autistic. And look, if you think that you're autistic and you can get an assessment, before I get to these signs, it's never a bad idea. All right? It's never a bad idea to get the assessment. I just want to say that. So we don't know if Mackenzie has autism or not. We don't know, but we're going to get to the 5 signs, in my opinion, that you might not be autistic. But speaking of people who are autistic, Diana was an accidental heckler in Chicago, and she has autism and ADHD. And I could tell that because she interrupted the show. Diana, I appreciate you. You're the best. I appreciate you. Okay, awesome. So we did add the Detroit show to the link. Yeah, so Detroit is September 11th at the Comedy Bar. So same venue that we had in Chicago, or it's like they have the comedy bars in different cities. Let me see. Someone says, I have autism. Lovely Drea says, I'd like an assessment. Guys, let me just address this real quick. Speaking of the autism assessments, right now we're in the middle of a comedy tour, but, but, but when we have a gap in the tour, and we have a small gap now, but I'm preoccupied with a couple of things. But when we have a gap in the tour, I will look to add autism assessments and ADHD assessments back. I'll open up my availability and I will let y'all know. Of course, I don't have a license in every single state, only a couple of states, like 8, 9, something like that. But whenever we open up the assessments for ADHD and autism, I will let y'all know. I promise you. I'm gonna let y'all know. I promise you. Jane says Chicago's waiting for you to come back. Man, cannot wait to go back. Arizona, we have Arizona September 17th. That's Chandler, Arizona. And somebody asked about somebody asked a great question about what are the most neurodivergent cities. My goodness, there's a lot of great neurodivergent towns. Every town that we've been to has been hella neurodivergent. Houston, a lot of neurodivergence in Houston, whether they know it or not. A lot of undiagnosed autism, ADHD in Houston. Same with Nashville. A lot of diagnosed and undiagnosed ADHD and autism in Nashville. New York City probably has the most neurodivergence in the U.S. Obviously, they have the most people, but New York has a lot. There's a lot of neurodivergence in New York City. Chicago's the same. And a good buddy of mine described Chicago as a cleaner New York, which I think is an accurate description. And that's not a diss to New York in no way, shape, or form. New York is great, but Chicago is a cleaner New York. I get that. I get that. I get that. Diana, love you too. And I'm happy that it was your first comedy show. I'm happy that it was your first comedy show. Very excited. No shows in Colorado, Idaho, or Utah yet, but we will look to add those. And somebody says, can we talk about the difficulty of having both? Karen, we will, but let me get into these signs because I think it's important to delineate between autism and other things because nowadays people are saying that everybody thinks that they're autistic, and a lot of people are upset. A lot of folks are upset and they're saying you're not autistic. Everybody thinks that they have autism nowadays. It could be other things. To which I say that could be true, but like I said, if you can get the assessment, nothing wrong with nothing wrong with getting the assessment. It's preferable if you can't actually. It just costs a lot of money. But I have 5 signs that you might not be autistic. All right, let's get into it. Leilani says that's because we can be ourselves without standing out. No, this is the beauty of New York City. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's watching you. I mean, if you spit your gum out in New York City, and then you cut out a piece of your hair, and then you took the piece of your hair and you dropped it on the floor, and you mash it into the piece of gum that's on the floor in New York, nobody's stopping you. Nobody's stopping you. That's people are just gonna live their life in New York City. People are just gonna live their life in New York City. All right, so number 1, these signs, your communication changes dramatically depending on who you're around. Let me make sure I spelled that correctly. I think I did. So this is the first sign that you're not autistic. That you may not be autistic. Okay. May not, might not is important to add that in there. All right. Very important to add that in there. So 5 signs that you might not be autistic. Number 1, your communication changes dramatically depending on who you're with. And why do I have this as number 1? Okay. Hungry Juggler. The reason why I have this number 1 is because the way I define autism is autism means that the way that you communicate with the world is different from how other people communicate with the world. So because of this, you will need some type of external assistance, some type of help, because you communicate in a very different way that the world communicates. So even if you're speaking the same language as the world, y'all are talking about 2 completely different things. All right. So if your communication changes dramatically depending on who you're with, this could be a sign that you might not be autistic. Okay. It could be a sign that you might not be autistic. So let's take somebody who's autistic, for example, right? If you struggle to communicate, you would see this in more than one setting, right? So if you have somebody who goes to work and communication is hard, words are hard, talking to people is hard, everything is hard. This same person, when they go to church, communication would also be quite difficult as well because they struggle to communicate with the outside world. So the communication difficulties would be present at work, at church, in different social settings, sometimes even at home. If you have these communication impairments in more than one setting, that's when we start to think about autism because it's consistent all the way through. But if you're the kind of person that you're hanging around people that you kind of like, they're not really your friends, but you're cordial with them. So you don't really talk as much because you're not that close with them. But then now you're hanging out with your other group of friends who you really like. And now you're energetic, you're able to talk, articulate yourself exactly how you want to. You're having no issues talking at all. Then I kind of question a diagnosis of autism. And I see in the chat, Denise is saying, I used to rehearse before I say my words all the time when I was a kid, and I had a hard time brushing my teeth and hair. Denise, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because look, check this out. When you struggle to communicate and you're going to go into an unfamiliar space and you're autistic, what you will do is you will rehearse what you're going to say before you get to that place. So that way, when you get to that place, you know what you're going to say and talking is not that difficult, right? So likewise, the person who may not be autistic, in one setting, they may rehearse for that social setting. I got to prepare what I'm going to say. I think of everything. And then, okay, I know what I'm going to say. Cool. I can go into this environment. Now, that person who isn't autistic, if they do this in one setting, but then they're going to go to a different place or hang out with other people, or is this a different social event and there's no rehearsal, there's no preparation for it, you're not being drained by the thought of having to socialize with people, it doesn't take you a long time to recover from social events, then I question if you're autistic. Then I question because the person who is autistic, even if they like hanging out with people, all right, somebody who truly has autism, even if they like hanging out with a group of folks, they can be drained by the thought of having to communicate with these people. Isn't that crazy? Like, these are your friends. These are your friends that have come into town from Nebraska and you haven't seen them in a year and a half. And you're so excited to see them. But you're feeling guilty about the fact that you're having to mentally prepare for the hangout. Like, you're having to reserve energy for this hangout. And you know that afterwards, I mean, you're going to feel fulfilled. Like, these are my guys, these are my girls. I'm happy to see them. But man, it's going to take something out of me. It's going to take something out of me. That right there is consistent with autism. So if in certain situations you're not drained by it, and in other situations you're drained by it, it's not consistent. So I would question whether you're autistic, because the person who's autistic, things that you want to do, especially if you have autism, ADHD, both of those. If you have autism and ADHD, you can dread and procrastinate on things that you actually want to do. That video game that you want to play is taking you hours to load up the PlayStation. All you gotta do is press a button. All you gotta do is just press the controller, then the PlayStation will cut on, and now you can play your game. But you're procrastinating on things that you actually want to do. The book that you want to read, open up the pages and read the book. But no, you're procrastinating because everything just takes so much time and effort. That's autism right there. And it tends to be consistent. The little 3-5 you got from the dispensary, you're procrastinating getting high. You want to get fried. You want to get fried tonight. because you're off of work tomorrow. But how are you going to procrastinate getting fried? You love to get fried. That is autism and ADHD right there. That's autism and ADHD right there. And it tends to be consistent. So people who do not experience that, yeah, I would question the diagnosis of autism. Somebody says, "Where's your girlfriend?" Oh, she's hanging out with my wife right now. No, Kodo, don't start. Don't start today. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Okay. I told myself I was gonna play nice today and not confuse them. uh so Flo, this is consistent with autism and ADHD right here. Melissa, I appreciate you. Leilani, I'm gonna play nice today. I'm gonna play nice today. I said half of me was like, I want to be bad today, and half of me is like, Kodo, try and focus. Try and focus. Try and focus. Oh, my girlfriend's not born. I'm not one of those folks. I'm not one of those folks. I'm not a creep now. I'm not Bill Belichick. No, I'm not a creep. I'm not a creep. Where's my list at again? Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is a good one right here. This is a good one right here. Signs you might not be autistic. Number 2, you understand social rules but choose not to follow them. You understand social rules but choose not to follow them. Some of us understand social rules. We know what is required of us in social settings, but we just choose not to do it. We choose not to do it. All right. So let's say I'm going to give you 2 people right now. Right. You have 2 folks. You have the person who doesn't understand social rules. Right. So let's take somebody who has autism. This person has autism. They don't understand social rules. Now, over here, you have somebody who's not autistic and they understand social rules, but they choose not to follow them. All right. So the person who's autistic, who doesn't understand social rules, they may not understand that the phrase, "How are you?" is not a real question. When people say, "How are you?" they don't actually want to know about how your day is going. They say, "How are you?" because it sounds nice coming out of the mouth. Oh, how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. All right. That's what you're supposed to do. The person who's autistic may not understand that, and they may go into details about their day. Now you can have somebody else who actually might not be autistic, who hears, "How are you?" and they know that the only acceptable answer is, "I'm fine." But they're choosing to be defiant, or they're choosing to actually answer the question because they want to. And the key difference here is that the person who does this, when they start to talk to the person and they're telling that person about their day, once they realize that they're pissing off the other person by giving too many details, then they're going to stop. They're like, okay, you asked me how my day was, so I'm going to use that as an opportunity to tell you about my day. But when I look at you and I tell that you're clearly uninterested in what I'm saying, all right, whatever. I know that when you said, "How are you?" you didn't really mean it. So I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to stop right now. Now, the person who's autistic, who takes things literally, they may not understand that they're boring the other person. They may not understand that they're bothering that other person. So it's not until they look at that person's face, and if you're truly autistic, you're somewhat of an anthropologist. You study people, so for your survival, because you have to. So after you're divulging all these details and you're telling people about your day, and you can tell that people are disinterested, then you're like, oh, maybe I'm not saying the right thing. Maybe I should stop. But you genuinely don't know that you weren't supposed to actually answer the question. All right. So the person who isn't autistic, they know the social rules, but they choose not to follow them. They pick and choose when to follow these rules. The person who isn't autistic, the person who is autistic really struggles with the unwritten social rules. And depending on where you live, this can be quite difficult. Somebody who's autistic in Norway would have a different experience from somebody who's autistic in New York City, right? In Norway, I grew up in Norway, great country, friendly, safe, but people are kind of closed off. And people aren't as open. They're nice, but they're kind of closed off in Norway. That's just the culture. In America, we like to pretend to be nice and pretend to like you even if we don't like you. So if there are different unwritten, unspoken social rules in different environments and you're autistic, it can be very difficult when you change environments because now you have to go learn all of the other unspoken and unwritten rules in this country, in this city, in this environment. Nobody sounds like Seattle. This is actually a pretty good comparison. I would compare Norway to Seattle. People in Seattle, like, if you live in Seattle, you know what I'm talking about. People in Seattle, they're friendly, but they have their cliques. So if you're an adult trying to make friends in Seattle and you're autistic, you may have to leave Seattle. You may have to go somewhere else. Heidi says, try moving across the world from Canada to Australia. This was huge. Rural learning. Yes. Yep. The person who is truly autistic, this will make your head spin. Your head's spinning because now you have to go study people over there. It's like, I finally figured out how people in Vancouver act to operate. Now I'm moving to Sydney, Australia. Make you ficky. And I'm looking on TikTok. Ja on TikTok says, I want to change jobs, ADHD, and I'm terrified. This also goes for changing jobs. Because when you go to a new work environment, you have to figure out what can I do here? What can't I do? Like how do people operate? Change for the autistic person in general is pretty difficult, whether it's expected or unexpected. Especially if it's unexpected, then that's literally quite jarring. That's jarring when it's unexpected. Change is very difficult. And changing jobs, it can be terrifying. So for, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but it's a guy. So for my guy Ja on TikTok, changing jobs it really can be as scary as you think it is. You'll be fine, but it can be as scary as you think it is. Sometimes traumatizing. I'm from the Midwest. Good luck, man. Okay, that's the Australia talk. If you are from the South or grew up in the South like me, people will say things like "bless your heart," and that doesn't mean that your heart should be blessed. That means that they don't think you're that smart. So it's tough learning all the different things. Once again, I feel like there should be a class. There should be a class for these social rules for adults. Like when you take a new job or move to a new city and you're autistic and you have ADHD, there should be a class that you can go to that you can enroll in where they teach you all of this stuff and they save you a lot of social frustrations. I've said this before as a joke, but I seriously mean it. If there were classes where you were educated on the unwritten rules, more people, more autistic folks will go out because it's like, all right, like I know what to do. I don't have to sit there and risk embarrassment just to learn about people. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. All right. The third sign right here. Your communication improves when screen time is reduced and when coaching is introduced. All right. So a lot of words right there. Make sure I spell it correctly. But I want you to follow me on this right here. So signs that you are not actually autistic. If your communication improves, the less you spend time on your phone and the more you spend time around people. And actually, let's just take away the coaching part right here, because I want to focus on let me focus on technology for a second. I don't want to confuse y'all. Take out the coaching part right here. If you do coaching and your communication improves, it could be a sign that you're not autistic potentially. But I have a different angle that I want to take it at. Let's just talk about screen time when screens are reduced. So if your communication improves and stays improved when screen time is reduced, that could be a sign that you aren't actually autistic. And I see Ghost is saying it depends on the screen time. Am I doom scrolling or did I solve a problem? So I'm taking this more from the perspective of the doom scrolling. Guys, we have a problem with technology. Have you realized that the more connected we become, the more detached we actually are? The more the technology gets smarter, it feels like we're getting dumber. The more it's supposed to bring us together, it divides us. And look, yes, I am not who I am today without social media. And I recognize that. And I'm very grateful for social media. My life was changed because of social media. So I'm not being hypocritical or ungrateful. But we have arrived at a point in society where these phones, these tablets, these iPads, some of us prefer to live in that reality as opposed to living in the current reality. So if you are on your phone a lot, especially post COVID, your communication skills are not going to be that good. You may go outside and talk to people and you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm like, what am I talking about? Like you're hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth and you're like, okay, I'm not good at life. I'm actually not good at life because I don't feel like I'm making sense right now. Because you spend a lot of time on your phone. You spend a lot of time on your phone. That's why you're not smooth around people. And nobody's ever smooth 100%. Even the smoothest person is awkward 3 to 5 times a day. But spending a lot of time on your phone, an exorbitant amount of time on your phone is going to make it difficult for you to communicate in real life. So if you remove the phones and the iPads and the tablets and the PlayStations, or if you significantly reduce the amount of time you spend with technology, and all of a sudden you realize that your ability to communicate goes like this. So it's like we're spending less time on the phone, less and less time on the phone, and all of a sudden we're able to communicate better and better and better and better and better and better. That could be a sign that you aren't actually autistic. You're just a doom scroller. You don't actually have autism. You're just addicted to TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts and Snapchat and LinkedIn. There's some people who watch social media on LinkedIn. I would say that's the minority, but it's some people. Sure, some people. If you spend less time on your phone and all of a sudden you're able to communicate a lot better. Yeah. And that, from that perspective, I'm not really thinking that autism could be the diagnosis. Now it could be. It could be. Once again, these are signs that you might not be autistic. Signs. And Jasper says this is a bit of a reductive viewpoint on technological capabilities and use. And someone says they gave Taylor Swift an honorary doctorate. Okay. The Taylor Swift thing aside, let me talk about Jasper's comment. This is a reductive viewpoint of technological capabilities and use. Maybe it could be, but I do think that we're in a day and age right now where technology has become a predominant part of our lives. And it's one of the biggest reasons why we collectively, as a community, cannot communicate. And look, you can have issues with, technology and be autistic. Like you could. But I feel like even if we spent 25% less time on our phones on a daily basis, we would all have an improvement in communication. Now, for the person who's autistic, who is a doom scroller, if they spend less time on their phone, they could still struggle to communicate, because once again, that's what autism is. Autism means that the way that you communicate with the world is different from other people. And when you struggle with communication, you're going to experience the world differently. And as a result, you will need some type of external support. Whether you like it or not, you will need some type of external support. When I'm talking about support, I'm talking about somebody assisting in the form of body doubling. I'm talking about financial support. I'm talking about the support of a housekeeper. I'm talking about the support of a dog walker. I'm talking about the support of coworkers. I'm talking about somebody who reminds you that it's time to go to bed. I'm talking about somebody who will come to your house and help you clean. I'm talking about somebody who will literally get you out of bed to go to the gym in the morning. Whatever support you need, you're gonna need that. It's not something that you may need, or it's like an arbitrary thing. No, the things that you need support wise, you need those things. And so sometimes we forget that we're neurodivergent. Some of us forget that we have ADHD and autism, or we like to forget that we have these things, and we try to live as normal people. We do that for a little bit, and then we become extremely burnt out. Our skills regress. We're tired, and we're like, you know what? That help that I was getting, let me get that again, because right now life is too hard. Life is too hard. Come speak at Campbell High School, my old high school. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. When are you going to accept new clients? Probably when I have like a small break in touring, in touring, and it's dependent on the states. Like you have to be in a state where I have a license. I'm talking Georgia, Virginia, Texas, New York, um, New Mexico, California, Arizona, Alaska, Washington. One of those states. And I will let y'all know. I will let y'all know the moment that I do so. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna let y'all know. I don't have a license in Florida, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't have a license in Florida. All right. Ooh, this is a good one right here. Number 4. Number 4, signs that you might not be autistic. Ooh. This is funny right here. Melissa, funny. The most ADHD thing I ever did was forget I had ADHD. That's very funny. Mammy says, can you talk about dating someone with agoraphobia and PTSD, please? Mammy, after I finish the signs, we'll do a Q&A. And if you're still here, we can talk about dating someone with agoraphobia and PTSD. So, if you're dating this person who has agoraphobia and PTSD, don't break up with them now. Just wait for me to get to these signs, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So, number 4, signs that you might not be autistic. You can easily change routines when needed. Okay. If you're somebody who you think that you're autistic, but when you analyze your routines and your patterns, you realize that you're pretty flexible. You're pretty flexible. You're able to move around. You don't mind last minute interruptions. When things don't go your way, schedule wise, you just rolls up your shoulder. Okay, whatever. We'll just do it next week. We'll do it 2 weeks. It's not a big deal. If this is the case, that could be a sign that you may not actually be autistic, because somebody who has autism would struggle, or the majority of people who are autistic struggle with changes in routines. A slight interruption in routines or plans can really throw you off. And that's because routines are one of the best ways for us to regulate our nervous system. The average autistic person in 2026 is living with a dysregulated nervous system. And how regulated you are is going to be dependent on how much support you have. All that support I was talking about earlier, the parental support, the financial support, having friends that can come over and help you clean, having friends that can help you buy double, whatever support you need, having somebody who comes over and walks your dog when you're depressed, whatever support you need. Not having that support is going to dysregulate you. And the person who's autistic, one of the best ways to regulate yourself is to have routines. This is why you get so pissed whenever there's interruptions in your routines, because that's what you're relying on to help you feel regulated and stable. So if you made plans with your autistic friend and y'all are you're gonna check out their favorite restaurant, right? And you're driving to the restaurant and then you realize that that restaurant is closed. For you, you're like, oh, dang it. The restaurant's closed. We just have to drive a couple more miles down the street, find something else. But to your autistic friend, that restaurant being closed could cause a meltdown. And if we're adults here and you're in the car and your adult friend, they're 27 years old, they're having a meltdown in the car because their favorite restaurant is closed and y'all were 5 minutes away, and you don't understand why an adult is freaking out over a restaurant. You're like, bruh, we'll just find another restaurant. But to them, it's a huge deal because that was the plan. And I'm not saying that autistic people are not flexible, because you can be autistic and you can be flexible, but it's being thrown off of your square, especially when it's not when it's like just interrupted out of nowhere. If the change in the routine is premeditated, it can be a bit easier. It can be a bit easier. But by and large, last minute interruptions, like that thing where your mom comes to you with somebody else's emergency and they expect that to inconvenience you, and you already had plans and now you have to stop doing what you were doing to help out your mom and your mom's friend or whatever your mom wanted. If that really pisses you off, that is what an autistic person could really struggle with. And even the person who isn't autistic, I don't think anybody wants their schedule to be, nobody likes to when their time is volunteered without them knowing. Like, that's not fun. But to the person who's neurodivergent, heck no. That could be a huge problem. A huge problem. I have to adjust how I do things to accommodate you at the last second. Ah, heck no. Heck no. And on TikTok, somebody's saying, why did the person check to see when the restaurant closes? Well, that was just a scenario. Just a scenario. And, maybe you can go to the restaurant and you get there and then you realize that it's not open. Or you drove to Chick-fil-A and you forgot that it was Sunday and you get there and it's closed. Not fun. And I think we've all done it before. The whole Chick-fil-A thing, and you get there and then you realize it's Sunday. You're like, dang it, I really want Chick-fil-A today. Like, I can go to Wendy's or I can go to Arby's or I can go anywhere else. But man, like, I had my mind set on going to Chick-fil-A. I had my order picked out. I knew what I was going to get. I could envision myself tasting the food. The number one with the American cheese, the large waffle fries, the lemonade, the milkshake. You had the order picked. You had it mentally ready to go. You get there and it's closed. Great example from Chris right here. Chris says, my wife thought it was weird when I got so upset that they stopped selling Blueberry Red Bull. This right here is one of the most autistic comments I have read all day. Chris, this is a really accurate snapshot of autism right here. And I will add that when they stopped selling that Red Bull, I was also upset because I liked that Red Bull, actually. Like, that's my favorite way to get sugar and caffeine in. Red Bull tastes good. Maybe I'm weird, but I like Red Bull. I get super upset if an item on the menu gets discontinued. Very autistic as well, and I can relate. I hate it when I have a go-to dish at a restaurant or something, And all of a sudden, you get there and you ask about that dish, and then they're like, "Oh, we no longer do that." What do you mean you no longer do that? What do you mean? Like, who gave you permission? Who gave you permission to take it off the menu? Like, who and why? And why would you do this? And Amber on TikTok says, "OMG, I am still upset about the Blueberry Red Bull." So there's a couple of us who are upset about that. Does anybody know why they discontinued the Blueberry Red Bull? Because that was the best flavor. That was the best flavor. Why did they stop it? Does anybody know? Like it's the more I think about it, it's upsetting me right now. Like there was no reason to discontinue it, and they kept other flavors on the market that don't taste as good. Like they have some random peach one. Like that stuff is sick. Give me the classics. Give me the classics. And somebody says the price of blueberries got to really the plight. I said price. Price. My words are off today. The price of blueberries got too high. Wow. 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 Miranda asks if it's possible for autism to get worse after pregnancy. Oh yeah. Sometimes when life gets hard and it's not possible to mask as well as you were able to mask in the past, um, it'll be tough. Alexis, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. The orange Red Bull is sick. To me, it's sick. Michelle says, I've had to buy my favorite lip gloss because this store always changes their stock. Southwestern chilies from Chile. Ah, I got. I was devastated when Taco Bell got rid of chili cheese burritos, aka Cheetos. This look, obviously, there's a lot of autistic people on this live stream tonight, but man, when your favorite thing is discontinued, it makes life so difficult because you were relying on that one thing, and without them consulting you, like you didn't even consult me. You didn't consult me. You just stopped this item. Like, why? Like, how could you do this to me? Oh, the vanilla Laffy Taffy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then on TikTok, someone says Starbucks stopped selling mango matcha. uh, oh, fried apple pies are back at McDonald's. Did not know that. Did not know that. Did not know that. They discounted blueberry to make room for the newer flavor like vanilla berry. We didn't want the vanilla berry. We just wanted the blueberry Red Bull. Like sometimes brands will change things and they won't realize that a lot of us just want the same thing. We just want the same thing. We just want the same. Like I want the same thing. Like don't change it up on me, please. Don't switch it up on me. I have a good friend in Texas who um, I'm working with her right now. She's trying to open up a clinic for autism. If and when she's up and running, I won't gatekeep. I will let y'all know. I promise. So those of y'all who are in Texas, y'all could be in luck. I will let y'all know. When I have something, I will not gatekeep. I will let y'all know. Yesterday's child on TikTok says, when favorite restaurant closes, I feel like I fell off of earth. Yeah, things being changed at the last second is not fun. All right. Now the fifth sign that you might not be autistic. This is going right here. All right. Sensory issues don't significantly impact your life. All right. One of the telltale signs of autism is sensory meltdowns, sensory frustrations. Sensory frustrations is one of the telltale signs of autism. Okay? I cannot think of too many autistic people that don't struggle with sensory issues. And Ghost, yeah, this is maybe the most universal one. Life, life as we know it has so many sensory aspects to it. The way things feel, both emotionally and from a texture perspective, the way things smell. A bad smell could put you in a bad mood. Like one bad smell is like, this funk right here. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Like if you are autistic, there will be some aspect of your life that is impacted by sensory issues. And this is huge. So if sensory issues don't significantly impact your life, I question whether you are actually autistic. You're not a real card carrying member. You ain't real if you don't have some type of sensory impairment. Some type of sensory. Brianna, this is a really good example right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. My husband can't cuddle me. These are the issues that people normally go to therapy to have to work through. Intimacy is a big thing. Obviously, the shucking and the make it fakey is a big part of any relationship. But it's pretty difficult to be intimate when, even there's like a cuddle, like most guys, like I can't speak for every guy, but the average guy isn't the biggest cuddler. But if I go to my old lady and I try and cuddle her, she's like this. I'm like, you just pull back from me, like I will be confused. So to the person who doesn't understand autism, it'll make their head spin. Like, oh my goodness, my wife is rejecting touch. It's not that. It's just a sensory. It's a sensory thing. If you understand autism, you get it. The guys and girls who get it, and the ones that don't. They just don't. Certain textures hurt physically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cuddling hurts a lot of times. Sometimes cuddling can really hurt. I won't shop at Target because wow. I won't shop at Target because it's red. You're saving a lot of money, but it sucks to not be able to shop at Target. My friend says you're stop scratching or playing with your hair. You might be stimming. You might be stimming. On TikTok, somebody says bad smells will ruin my day and give me migraines. I am the same way. I am the same way. I carry masks with me. I'm about to go get an N95 mask for me on the planes. And it's not for COVID. It's for people farting. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And on TikTok, Grace says some people just don't like touch. That's true. And it's frustrating whether you're in a relationship or whether you're 7 years old and your parents are forcing you to go hug your uncle, but you don't want to be touched. A lot of kids struggle with that. Hey, go hug your uncle. He came all the way here from Oklahoma. Go hug your uncle. And you're like, I don't want anybody to hug me right now. Go hug your uncle. You're making us look bad. He drove all the way here to Los Angeles from Oklahoma City, and you're not going to hug him. But I don't want to be touched right now. And now you have to go hug your uncle. And your uncle's not a creep. He's a good guy, but you don't want to be touched. Some people just don't want to be touched. And there's nothing wrong with that because we have bodily autonomy. You have bodily autonomy. Somebody says, no cuddling if there's body odor. I am the same way. I am the same way. I don't care how good you look. Now, when I was younger, I could push through because I was a lot hornier. Not a little hornier, like a lot hornier. So I could push through anything. Me at 23, if she had a little funky smell down there, I'm like, it's natural. It's natural. I could push through anything. Me at 33 can't do it. I don't care. You can be the most beautiful woman in the world, but a smell, I just can't do it now. And I won't do it now. I won't do it now. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I just, it's a sensory thing and I just can't do it. And Susan says, as providers, we need to educate on healthy boundaries for kids. I agree. I agree because that age is when you're supposed to be learning about these things. Unfortunately, we're learning about this stuff as adults. Mel on TikTok says no hugs if there is facial hair. So I guess I couldn't hug you then because I got a lot of facial hair. I get that though. I get that. I get that because I hug you and then my facial hair brushes against like your neck and it's like, I get that. And I would not be offended if somebody couldn't hug me because of facial hair. I get that. I definitely get that. I get that. Someone TikTok says, I love cuddling when I was physically smaller, but now it pinches. So not a lot of people are huggers. Beard oil does help. My own hair hurts my face when it touches me. I get that. I actually get that. People clicking pens bother me. Ooh. Chewing too loud. Ooh. My fiance snoring too loud when I'm trying to fall asleep keeps me awake longer. Ooh. Change my sheets like 3 times a week. Ooh. Or to be touched when I'm extremely overstimulated. Ooh. And bad smells would make me gag. Ooh. That's like 7 things right there that significantly impact the quality of your life. If your fiance is snoring in the bed next to you, how are you going to sleep? How can you get REM sleep if look, these are things that significantly impact the quality of your life. And you don't have to get a new fiance, you don't have to kick him out into the street. But you have to make a couple of modifications, maybe put some white noise on, or you might have to find something, some light earmuffs while you sleep, something, because you got to get that sleep. You have to get that sleep. And for the person who's autistic, they understand what you're talking about. And if everything that I've said for the past 5-10 minutes, you don't relate to what I've said, that's a good sign that you probably are not autistic. Like if you don't relate to any of the sensory stuff, like if like farts don't bother you, beard hair doesn't bother you, like cuddling doesn't bother, like if none of this stuff bothers you, and you may not be autistic. May not be autistic. I work in healthcare, so I'm just used to it. My thing is animal smells. Oh, Aaron, you wouldn't like my dog. My dog farts a lot. I can do my dog's farts sometimes. 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 I hate sneaking in public. We don't want you to hit yourself, Natalia. Please find the restroom. I feel smothered when cuddling. Panic sets in. Not for me, cuddling. I'm not the biggest cuddler. My biggest issue with cuddling is that, if we cuddle for too long, I'm like, all right, it's time to get on to the next thing. Like, let's progress to the next thing instead of just cuddling for too long. Like, it needs to progress. Needs to progress. Just random touch makes me twitch, or I jump at that random touch. Microfiber. I got my husband a sleep apnea machine works. This small things like sleep, what I wouldn't call it a small thing. So I take back the phrase small thing. But things like a sleep apnea machine can dramatically improve the quality of your relationship. And you would never think that it would. But having a sleep apnea machine, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And now everybody's sleeping good at night. Everybody's in a good mood in the morning. These are the things that count. These things make a big difference. Natalia says it's hard to find people who are understanding of this. Right. And look, I happen to have a large autistic community, so all of us in here, we are collectively pissed off by all these things. But most people in the world are not understanding of a lot of these things, like the snoring at night, the cuddling, the touching. Like people will be like, I don't understand why you're complaining. Like, why are you complaining? Like, it's not a big deal. And to you, you're like, no, this is the biggest deal. This is the biggest of deals. This is the biggest of deals. Leilani, I agree. I agree. Chewing too loud is, yep, yep. And I also wear headphones around people when, yeah. Or sometimes, this is why I love these Meta Ray Bans, um, and they're expensive. But I'm fortunate that I've gotten like 3 free pairs from Facebook without having to pay for it. But I think that if I didn't get this for free, I would buy it on my own, because sometimes when it's too loud, or like if people are smacking around me, I can cut some music on and discreetly listen. I'll be listening to Drake and you won't even know it because you're chewing too loud. Now, noise canceling headphones are better than this. Noise canceling headphones are better than this because they're noise canceling. So now I can't hear you. I don't hear you at all. So I don't have to put up with you smacking, or I don't like that. I hate when parents force physical intimacy like hugs on children, even if they're not creeps. It teaches them they don't have bodily autonomy. It's definitely a sensory issue. Yes, and this right here, this is a skit. I will make this skit at some point. So when y'all see this skit hit the internet, do not be surprised. I will make this skit at some point, because this is one of the most frustrating things for kids. Parents forcing kids to hug somebody that they don't want to hug. Yes, this will be a skit at some point. I promise you, because parents need to see this. Because some parents don't know. Parents are pissed, like, oh, especially if it's their sibling. Like, my sibling drove all the way here for your birthday, and you don't want to hug my sibling. I'm offended. But as parents, sometimes you lose the plot. You forget that it's not about you. It's about the bodily autonomy of that child. Kids need to know that their body belongs to them. Like, once again, this should be a class. Kids need to know that. Kids need to know that. Then you don't have good headphones. If you can hear the smacking through the headphones, throw them out. You need better headphones. You need better headphones. You need better headphones. And somebody on TikTok says, I am autistic. My nephews and nieces are all very physical, which I'm actually okay with. And to that, I'll say, keep in mind, autism is a spectrum. So you can have some people who are autistic who are okay with hugs. They're perfectly fine with hugs, and they might be touchers. But if they are autistic, then there would be some sensory impairment. It may not be hugs, it may not be loud, noises or weird smells, but there's something that gets them. Whether it's the texture of the clothes, there's something that gets them. Everybody has their thing. Everyone has their thing. Let me see. An eye mask helps me with my partner wanting to watch TV after I'm trying to sleep. Eye masks can help, but if you use one, don't get one that's too tight. I put on an eye mask one time. It was way too tight. I was flying from Seattle to LA. So not even like the longest flight. It wasn't cross country. 2.5 hour flight, maybe 3 hours. I'm flying from Seattle to LA, and I put the eye mask on. It was so tight that when I took it off, my vision was blurred for like a good 20 minutes. Luckily, like, I'm familiar with LAX, like I'm home, so like, I'm able to navigate. But that was scary. So don't wear the eye mask too tight. You should get the hoodie with a built-in eye mask. Okay, it just can't be too tight. It just can't be too tight. Leilani, gotcha. Got you. I'm packing and I really hate it. Is that a sign? Could be. Could be. Notifications kind of do bother me on my phone too. I didn't know that other people struggle with this. Like I get a lot of notifications, so much, and I like do not disturb. Like that turns off everything. I need to hear from my mom and my siblings and my team. But sometimes I get way overwhelmed with the amount of text I have to get back to. Right now, I have 241 text messages that I haven't replied to and 116 missed calls. Um, and that's people that know me. So imagine DMs and stuff like that. My goodness, makey fakey. And we are in the Q&A section of the live stream right now. So we're in the Q&A section. That's why I mentioned that. And somebody says, my phone has to be on silent and only have my son and my mom able to get through right away. So AZ son on TikTok, I agree with that. I actually don't know how to adjust my do not disturb settings and all that, but I need to take a whole day or a half a day and adjust everything to where I can quiet every single notification. Like my mom, siblings, family, my team, they can call me at 2 a.m. Like I'll pick up. Like, call me anytime. But, you know, like a friend hitting me up because Giannis was traded to the Heat. Not obviously I'm gonna get back to my friends, but if you text me at 3 a.m., do you think the Miami Heat will win a championship now that they have Giannis? Nah. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. Phone calls. Phone calls. My goodness. I need my strings out. Hey, that's funny. A lot of these I can really relate to. Um, yes, the eye mask can be too tight. Be careful with it, please. Dogs barking and babies crying. Ugh. Sensory issues with socks. I think somebody else mentioned socks being too tight is a thing. Yeah, I hate it when I take off socks and I can tell that, like, like it's too tight. Like I can see the lines, on my feet from the socks being too tight. Too much. Mm. Taylor, it's a skit. So I made her fake pregnant. So it's a skit. Not my wife, not a real pregnancy. Sometimes I'll confuse y'all, and then other times I'll tell y'all the truth. He had the lines on my legs. It's the worst. And somebody says, "Ooh," somebody on TikTok says, "Kojo, I know you saw the match. What do you think about how our boys took on England? I am so proud of the Ghana national team. We are the 73rd ranked team in the world, and we just took the fourth ranked team all the way to the brink, and we tied with them. I'm so proud of my boys. I'm so proud of my boys, and we're gonna celebrate this for 24 hours. And after that, we've got to get ready for Croatia on Saturday. Croatia won their game today, and those boys are gonna be hungry. So we have to come out and play our best game once again. So shout out to the Ghana national team. Celebrate for 24 hours, and after that, it's time to prepare for Croatia. Prepare for Croatia. Chicago is my favorite comedy city because 2 years ago, when I only sold 12 tickets in Chicago, and there were maybe like 15 people in the crowd, we had so much fun, and that really encouraged me because I only sold 12 tickets. We didn't have that many people in the crowd. We were at Riddle's Comedy Club in Chicago 2 years ago, and this happened, but we had such a good time. And the people in Chicago like to laugh. And if you like to laugh and you're neurodivergent, you're my people. Oh, yeah, Taylor, a lot of people think that I have like a pregnant wife or two wives or the beauty of short form content. It can be very confusing. It can be very confusing. Um, oh, I do this too. I wear my socks half of my toes. So I wear my socks half so my toes can stay warm, but not tie around my ankles. I've done this too. Oh, okay, wow. I thought I was the only person that does this. I wear socks halfway. Ah. Tags on clothing. The weird Andre, you know it's even worse? The feeling of maple syrup on your hand, like when it's stuck. Like, you poured the syrup on the pancakes, but there was syrup around like the bottle. Or when you're ordering at McDonald's and you're trying to order on the kiosk, but like people ordered before you, so like there's sweat and like grease and ketchup on the kiosk, and you're like, we have to touch it in order to make your order. Oh, it's the absolute worst. Sticky, ugh. It makes you not want to order on that kiosk. I hate that. I hate that. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, Junior. I had a friend. I had a close friend of mine reach out, and he was like, "Kojo, congratulations! I hear you're having a son." And I got scared. I'm like, "Oh, hold up! I got some girl pregnant. What's going on?" And I realized the skit. I'm like, "Oh, the skit." I'm like, snap! Did somebody not tell me that I have a kid on the way? I got scared. I'm like, oh snap! Like, who did I impregnate? I got hella scared. On TikTok, somebody says anything sticky or wet in between fingers. Yeah. Uh, uh, mm. Oh, Joshua, you saw me in Chicago. Thank you for coming out to the show in Chicago. And still waiting for the Milwaukee show. I would love to come to Milwaukee. Never been. So I would love to come to Milwaukee. And someone says you should come to Huntsville, Alabama. I am coming to Huntsville, Alabama. Link in the bio for tickets. I am coming to Huntsville, Alabama. That's going to be August 16th. So Alabama, we're 2 steps ahead of you. We are 2 steps ahead of you. We're coming to Huntsville. I don't grab any rails, stairs, trains, buses. Ooh. Kaylee says, "Who is your wife?" Which one? I ain't got a wife. I'm gonna be truthful today. Today I'm truthful. I ain't got a wife. I like throwing people off though. But every now and then I'll throw off somebody that I am romantically interested in, and then I'm like, hey, I'm kidding. I don't have 4 wives. I want you. You're my wife. Every now and then I will throw off the wrong person. Um, thank you. We're having fun on the road. We are having fun on the road. Oh yeah, I be confusing folks. I just be confusing them. And for Kyler, congratulations. Congrats, Kyler. Congrats on you're gonna be a father. That is exciting. I'll get there one day. I will get there one day. But yeah, Leilani, we confusing folks hella. The Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville. Okay. I'm looking forward to Huntsville. Um my sensory things when my shoes are unevenly tightened. Ooh, okay. Sometimes when the shoes are too tight, like that frustrates me too. Mm, dirty bathroom sinks. Is your wife pregnant? Leilani, how should I answer this one? Uh, which wife? Which wife? Which one are you talking about? Uh, Kaylee's asking on. Oh, guys, these are skits. Oh no, I'm a troublemaker. I'm a troublemaker. That's what they put on my report card growing up as a kid. Very mischievous, talks too much, easily distracted. I'm a Mickey Ficky. I like to cause. I like to cause trouble. I like to cause trouble. Would love to see you in Portland, Oregon. I would love to come to Portland, Oregon. I've only flown through there, but never been to the city. I would love, would love to go to Portland. The lady on your story or on YouTube, yeah, those are skits. Those are actually skits. I can't wear form-fitting clothes. Oh, and Taylor, you're good. Taylor, you're good. All that shucking, all that shucking, all that shucking. But yeah, this could be frustrating not being able to wear form-fitting clothes. I love obviously, as y'all know, I love my tank tops. I love them. I wear them in the skits all the time. Kaylee, I I had this tradition where I would do end of the year shows in San Francisco slash Oakland. We may continue that this year. So I love San Francisco is up there with Chicago as far as favorite comedy towns. San Francisco is up there with Chicago. So I would love to come back to San Fran and I do a show up there. I love San Francisco. I love it. I love San Francisco. I love San Francisco. Nikki says we don't have doctors that look like this here. Oh yeah, I mean I wish I could clone myself so that way everybody has a handsome Dr. Kojo running around. If there was a way to clone yourself, I would have been done it. Then I could actually have four wives, and I just make four Kojos, and then the Kojos would help me with the content. They would help me with the content creation. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I didn't learn how to tie my shoes until I was 8 because I hated how they felt. Oh, okay. I was one of those kids wearing Velcro for the longest, and then I had to learn how to tie my shoes. I had to learn. Mary, I would come to New Orleans. Never been. I'd love to come. Can you come to Michigan? We just added a show today in Detroit. September 11th, I'll be in Detroit, Michigan. That's a Friday. That was just added. That was just added. That was just added. Let me see. 2.5 years sober. My dog, my prescription age meds. Yes, you have different options. It's not just stimulants. I'm assuming you're talking about the stimulants, the big boys, the Adderalls, the Vyvances, and TikTok won't let me talk about specific medications, but I can tell you that there are different classes of meds. So if you can't do stimulants or you don't want to do them, people will use beta blockers for ADHD. We use like atypical antidepressants for ADHD. So there's so many different ways to help out with ADHD, or sometimes people will, doctors won't give you ADHD medications or anything for the ADHD, but maybe a medication to help you sleep better. And if we can fix your sleep, we can help to improve your focus. So there are many different ways to get around stimulants. So you don't have to have stimulants per se. We have options. That's a good thing. We have options. We have options. Mm. What is it? Having to repeat myself more than twice as no, having to repeat yourself is frustrating, and sometimes we need things repeated to us multiple times, but then we get frustrated when it happens to us. I was prescribed lithium, had to postpone my stimulant due to tremors. What are my options? So I'm assuming the lithium was for bipolar. We have other mood stabilizers that you can use in that class. And then, the stimulant, like I said, if you can't do the ADHD medications, you can do the non-stimulants as well. So talk to your doctor about the specific recommendations, because your doctor can give you like specific recs on what you can do. But there are many, like you have many options. So just don't feel like you're stuck. Like you have options. You got options. People people keep asking if I have a wife. Guys, if y'all want to give me multiple wives, go ahead and give me multiple wives. I'll date them all if you let me. I will date them all if you let me. I hate. I have to say why I'm leaving a room out loud so I don't forget. Oh yes, there's a lot of smells I can't stomach. A lot. Anything that is funk, fart smells that aren't my own, um, bodily odor, and it's gotten worse as I've become older. Like I said, like I can't even do the Mickey Ficky now. If I'm with a young woman and there's a smell, like I can't do that anymore. Can't do that no more. Can't do that no more. I could at one point. Um, Chris, like I said, this live stream, if you were paying attention about the signs that you might not be autistic, that you could invert that and gain some insight as to why you could be autistic. So there's nothing wrong with having that assessment for autism. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Um, Andrea, that's funny. If you have something from us, take a pic. That's funny. Is there a way to improve skill regression or reverse skill regression? This is an outstanding question. An outstand. Oh, Andrea, if you had something from yourself, take a pic. Yes, yes. That makes more sense. Yeah, because I was a bit confused, but this makes more sense. I smell like an stomach is any toilet, even if it's clean. Interesting. But to answer Kelly's question, is there a way to reverse or improve skill regression? Yes, there is a way to reverse skill regression and to make progress with your skills. And the key here, the key for skill regression, all right, are y'all ready? Support. Support. Once again, your skills regress when you go too long without getting the proper support. So number one, you need to know what type of support you need. And number two, you need to seek out that support. Whether it's somebody helping you clean the house, somebody helping you walk your dog, somebody giving you a ride places, somebody helping you buy doubling, somebody helping you, maybe they assist you with communication, somebody who can be there and like help you break down social rules, somebody that can help you out financially, give you a job, like whatever you need, this is the exact support that you need. Getting that helps to reverse the skill regression. And sometimes the best way to give ourselves support, because we can't, like, if we could just snap our fingers and get the support that we needed, we would do that. Like, I snap my finger and all of a sudden I get the support that I need. Like, I would do that. But the best way sometimes to get the support that you need is to say no to things. Someone's like, oh, can you help me with this? Oh, I need you for this. I need you for that. No, 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 no. Sometimes the best help that you can give yourself is help from yourself. Sometimes you got to get a little selfish and focus on you for a while. Not isolate and like stop replying to people. I'm not saying that, but sometimes you have to get down and dirty and prioritize yourself above other people and their opinions of you. Yeah. It's hard. No is a difficult word. No is a difficult word. Leonard, we're live right now. We are live right now. We are live right now. Burnt out and shut down for years. Lori, once again, the thing that has helped me out the most is saying no. Saying no. I am the go-to person in my life for everything. Do you know how stressful that is? And I take pride in that. I like the fact that I can assist my family with things. I like the fact that I can help my friends with things. I like the fact that I can show up for my community. I take pride in being the go-to person. But then I realize I'm like, oh, shoot. I have people's back, but people don't have me. And it's not that I don't have friends or that I don't have good people around me, But the type of help that I need, you can't give me that help. But I'm able to give you that help. Pretty frustrating. Pretty frustrating if you ask me. It makes life hard. So me saying no, 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 I can't. And if I can help, yeah, I'll help. But saying no and focusing on myself has been the biggest way to refuel myself and to pour into myself. I wish I knew that earlier, you know. But sometimes the support that you need is can only come from you. You gotta say no more. You gotta be a bit more selfish. You have to put your needs ahead of everything because keep in mind, if you are neurodivergent, you spend a big part of your life fighting for your survival. Your survival. You're trying to survive. Yeah, the go-to person doesn't have anybody to go to a lot. So you have to be your best cheerleader. You have to be your best self-preservation. And like Leonard said right here, protect protect yourself. You know, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Katie says on TikTok, "You're the only person you'll be with for the rest of your life." Yeah, yeah. You have to be your own best cheerleader. And look, if you don't do this, you'll get to a point where you'll be so burnt out that you'll just stop caring. And then at that point, that's when you start to advocate for yourself. You're like, nah, what I went through again, like I cannot do that again. What just happened? Some things in life you go through once, and you know that you'll never experience it again. Many things in life are like that. But after you have certain experiences, you're like, all right, nah, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I'm not doing that again. I'm not. Certain things in life, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you leaves you a lot of trauma, and it rewires your brain. That's what it does. That's exactly what it does. You got to get selfish. And I have never regretted being selfish because at my baseline, I'm a helping person. Like I always got people. I got you. 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 So the one or two times or the three times where I gotta say no and I can't help you, you get upset. Hey, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to live with it. You're gonna have to live with it. Which is one thing that I really like about being in my 30s. If you're in your 20s right now and you have a hard time saying no, just keep on living. You get to an age one day where you're like, no. And you know you've grown when you say no and you don't explain yourself. Oh, man, I'm behind on this. Like, I need you this Saturday to come help me with this. Like, I need your help. I need your help. No, you can't help, but no. But normally you always help. Like, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm good, but no. I'm good, but no. No, no. If you want to, you can say it like that. No, no. Put a little accent on it so that way they know you're serious. No, no. Dane says, love the content. Wish you and your wife a good life. Thank you so much. We are very happy over here. No, no. Judy, how are you? No. And Chris, look, there are times where I struggle with saying no too. I'm not gonna lie. There are many times where I struggle saying no because I feel like I let them down. And I know it's best for me to like, relax or whatever, but I'm like, man, I really hurt them. I really hurt them. Here we go again. Like man, like I get, man, how many DMs do I get on a daily basis? I stopped counting. If I had to guess, maybe like 100 DMs a day probably. And every now and then when I go and I look through DMs, I'll have people asking about Emily, and they'll say, "Oh, congrats on the baby. Is she okay?" I just want my community is so considerate. They'll DM me and say, "I just want to make sure that your wife is okay because I saw her having a hard time in the video. So I just want to know, is she okay? Is the baby okay?" So people are super considerate, and I appreciate that. All of the wives are okay. They're doing great. They're doing great. My goodness. Oh boy. Ooh. We're the 9-minute mark. It's about time to now it's about time to wrap up because I do have a call after this. Make it fakey. I'm having fun, but it's about time to wrap up. Yay wives. Yeah, yeah. All the wives are good. They're all happy. I hope y'all come to the live stream more so y'all can understand when there's like inside jokes and like, you know, some of y'all get it. You know, the Leilani's and the Andreas and the, the OGs, but some of y'all like the ghosts, some people are like, what's going on? What is going on? uh, and actually, yeah, let's get some water in. Big cheers, y'all. Let's get some water in, and I'll do my last announcements. Yeah, hello? Hola. Give me just like 5 minutes. I'll call you back. I promise. Okay. All right, thanks. As you see, the meeting that I was supposed to get to, I'm running like 5, 10 minutes behind on everything. Big cheers, y'all. Heidi, I appreciate you. I definitely will get some rest. I will get some rest. I appreciate you. Oh, is booty call? I wish it was a booty call. I wish it was a booty call. Nah, it's a call with another doctor about business stuff. If it was a booty call, I would have been gone off this live stream. Like I like y'all, but I like booty a little bit better. Like if it was a booty call, I would have been off at the 1 hour mark. Best believe that. Best believe that. All right. Final announcements. Once again, big shout out to the city of Chicago and New York City. Those are the most recent cities that we just came back from on tour. Had a great time. Chicago sold out. New York, the room was just damn near sold out. Nashville, we had 2 sold out shows, and obviously we kicked off in Houston. We added a comedy show today, September 11th, in Detroit, Michigan. I'm excited about that. I've never been to Detroit to do comedy, but when I wrote my first book, I did a book signing in Detroit. Only 2 people came, but once again, Detroit still is a special place in my heart. So I'm excited. Detroit, Michigan, September 11th. But before that, we have 2 shows in Massachusetts. Am I saying it correctly? Massachusetts. Boston, Mass. July 24th in Boston. That's a Friday. Then Saturday, July 25th in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is close to Hartford, Connecticut. So we may as well say Hartford, greater area, or however they call it. So Springfield, Massachusetts / Hartford on the 25th. The day before, on the 24th, we'll be in Boston, Massachusetts. For the ticket link, for the ticket information, hit the link in the bio. And I'm very excited to see those of y'all that I will see in Boston and in Springfield, Massachusetts. The next month after that is going to be August. We'll have shows in Arkansas, Huntsville, Alabama, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So August, we're going to be in the South. We're going to be in the South. In the South, September, Phoenix, Arizona on the 17th. but on the 11th, we will be in Detroit, Michigan. So we're making progress. We're preparing for the comedy um, 1 hour special. So I got to do some more shows and continue to build up this hour. It's a blessing and it's so fun doing that. So yeah, that's there. That is there. And the Swordsman MMA says, I'm from Hartford. Well, I'll be in your neck of the woods on the 25th, Springfield, Massachusetts, which is right there. It's close to Hartford. Close to Hartford. I'm near Phoenix. Wear shorts. Oh no, I know. I used to date a girl in Scottsdale, so I used to be in Arizona a lot, and it gets so hot. I may not even wear shorts. I may show up naked. It's that hot. Like no clothes in Arizona. Everybody no clothes. We're just gonna show up with like a towel. All right, y'all. So a great live stream today. Like I said, once again, shout out to the cities that we've been to on tour. I'm looking forward to the next couple of cities, and also shout out to those of y'all who were here for this live stream. A really good one. We took a week off last week because it was just too much traveling, but I am excited to be back. We'll stream again on Thursday. Keep in mind these live streams are every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock California time, 9 p.m. New York time. So 6 o'clock West Coast time, 9 o'clock East Coast time, right? So 9 o'clock New York, 8 o'clock Nashville, 7 o'clock Phoenix, 6 o'clock Seattle, 5 o'clock Alaska time, 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 2 a.m. United Kingdom time. So, yep. I will see you all on the next live stream, which would be Thursday. So 2 days from now at 9 p.m. East Coast time, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Y'all do your best to get some rest. I will be getting some rest tonight. I'm contemplating buying these blue sleep glasses that you work 3 hours before you go to bed. I'm experimenting with some things to make my sleep a little bit better. So I'm excited, but I will be intentional and I'm going to get a lot of sleep tonight. So until the next live stream, which is in 2 days, y'all take care. I love y'all and I will see y'all soon. Peace. Great live stream, y'all.